Ohio, konnichiwa, konbanwa, oyasumi nasai, Dorian desu. Uh, Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. My name is Dorian. How's it going, ladies and gentlemen? Today I wanted to bring you 10 helpful tips to learning Japanese here in the 2022. I will just say that it is extremely difficult, and you're gonna need to practice a lot. But go ahead and like and subscribe, leave a comment in the description, tell me what you think. But like right off the rip, I recommend you get yourself I think they're like $5 on Amazon. Just yourself one of these little Japanese practice books. They have little squares so you can like practice your kana in. And that leads me to number 2. You're gonna wanna get writing that right away. I recommend putting the hiragana and katakana right next to each other. Use the ones that equal each other in the following column. Write the first one in the first column for the hiragana, and then the corresponding katakana in the next column. And just write those out. Just keep writing them all out. I think there's a 96, 94, if you don't count the dukan and everything else, which you don't really, you need to know those, but if you know the basic alphabet, you already know those. It's not that complicated. My third recommendation is to learn basic grammar, because a lot of language software has a lack of that. Rosetta Stone, Duolingo, all of that, they don't really go over grammar very well. You need to know where to put no and to and o and wa and all that, and because that'll make a huge difference to eliminate a learning curve for you. Which leads me to the next thing. You're gonna want to start speaking from the very beginning as much as possible. Just repeat the thing you heard last over 3 times. You're gonna really be thankful you did later, because it helps. You're gonna sound goofy at first, and it's not gonna come out right, but the more you speak it out loud, the better and better you get. And next, I would recommend highly that, because it's free, get Duolingo and do at least the first unit. The first unit, if you do everything to Legendary, you have a good foundation for understanding the very beginnings of Japanese. You do the phrases I did at the beginning like nothing, you know what I mean? That's not that big of a deal. And it helps. I will say that Duolingo is not the path to being fluent by any means, though. It'll teach you a lot, but yeah. After Duolingo, Unit 1, they start to really throw kanji on you, which leads me to the next one. Don't freak out about kanji. You should know it. You should know at least 2,000 of them by the time you're done. By the time you're done, though, that's key. That's a key factor in all that. Duolingo, however, just kind of throws them at you right away, and there is other ways to write a lot of that. So that's why I say do Unit 1, and then maybe take a step back for a bit till you know some more kanji, and at which point continue with it, and you probably zip through a couple, maybe the whole second unit. I don't know. But yeah. I do suggest you write down the simpler phrases. There are a lot of easier phrases in the kanji that you can learn. That the kanji isn't super difficult. Watashi makes it a little bit easier to write it, which watashi is just I. But it's 3 hiragana characters versus 1 kanji character. And yeah, so that makes it easier. So if you pick up a few kanji, it's not going to hurt you. But it is a little intimidating, I know that. And on to the next thing. If you're not practicing at least an hour a day, you're not going to learn Japanese, probably. It's just not gonna happen. It's one of the hardest languages in the world to learn. I recommend 3 hours a day. If you do it 3 hours a day, you might be fluent in 5 years. And that's what I'm saying. It's a hard language to learn. Thousands of hours are spent in becoming like articulate in the language. So if you're not doing an hour a day, you're not doing enough, and you're not gonna learn Japanese. It's just no way, no way, guys. Sorry. If you thought it was gonna be easy, you were dead wrong. Dead wrong. Once you've done the first unit in Duolingo, it leads me to the next thing. It's a little expensive of a purchase, and some people don't like it. But get yourself a Genki book, because that will help you teach you a little bit of the grammar, and it doesn't throw as much kanji at you. I will say, if you're through Unit 1 of Duolingo, you're probably on I think was it lesson 3 in the book? But it wouldn't hurt to go over those other lessons again, just to learn some more stuff. There are some vocabulary in there and phrases that you didn't learn in Duolingo. And the Genki books are what they use in like college and stuff like that to teach the language. So yeah, get it. It's gonna help you. You might not like it, but it's a textbook, so you know. And lastly, I can't stress this enough. Find someone to practice with, because it'll make it way more fun, and you'll probably progress a lot better. You'll be able to give each other constructive criticism and all that. Hopefully you can find a native speaker, though, because if you have a native speaker, you're obviously going to get the right stuff, like the right answers from them. And if you say something wrong, they're going to be able to correct you and everything else like that. Which leads me to this next thing. Rosetta Stone is helpful in some ways, but I would not highly recommend it right at the beginning. Again, I would do the first unit of Duolingo, get a Genki book, zip through that a little bit, get Rosetta Stone, and you'll zip through the beginning of it, but then it'll get a little bit more difficult. Probably read to, I don't know, lesson was like 6 or something in the Genki book, then do Rosetta Stone, and on there you can pay a little bit of money after you pay like $200 to get it, which is, again, I know an expense that we probably don't want to pay, but if you want to learn a language, sometimes that's what you gotta do. It's a challenge, you know, any language, even Spanish. Even Spanish is like hard for some people. That only takes 300 hours to learn. You could learn that in 3 months, let alone 5 years. So, yeah. But on Rosetta Stone, they do offer like with a native speaker, you can talk with them and they'll like correct you and stuff like that. And I think it's like 15-minute increments that you pay them by. But it's not super expensive. So get a partner, practice with them, and then from there go to Rosetta Stone and practice with those people, and you'll be on your way to really learning the